0, 1. Let's get started.
Welcome to Casablanca Cargo. This is Kathy, and today I'm going to share with you my completed now paper tapestry junk journal. So here is my cover. There's the spine and the top and the bottom, and let's see if I can turn it over. And here I put the title on the back because I didn't know I was going to put a title on. So it's on the back, and this has all been made with a very strong paper bag plus brown paper over the paper bag pieces. And this was I glued it on to the wrong side. So I was trying to peel this one off. This is the brown paper that I stenciled over with a rose stencil and some of my distress ink, and then I stenciled all of this in with a black Sharpie and my stencils, and then I realized it was on the wrong side. Of course, you know me, I get confused of direction. That's been my whole life. And so I tried to peel this off of this back page, back cover, and it only peeled to about there. So I cut that around and then had to redo the back cover. But here we are, successful now. Yeah. So here's the spine. Now this is all leftover fabric. This is actually a dyed piece that, let's see if I still have it over here. No, it's over in the other room. Dyed piece, and I'll put the picture up or video or whatever. I dyed this on the stovetop with Rit dye, and then this is a piece from my coat that I made earlier this year. And then this was a piece of a pillow sham, or yeah, I think a pillow sham that I thrifted years ago. And anyway, I do have a video of how I made the cover, and I will try to get that up later on this week. Okay, so here's what's here's the thing. This is not actually a junk journal. It's a fake junk journal. And here I've made fake pages. It's actually, there we go, a tapestry garage. And here is the tapestry. Now, I had put pictures up on my community page earlier about this. It's so long. It's like 80 inches long, I think now, something like that. So I folded it up, as you can see, and pretty much equal. The back end was a little bit longer, and that's okay because it all fits in there into the cover. So let's go through and let me tell you about this now. I'm gonna have to do it in sections because, like I said, it's 80 inches long. So let's see how far. I'll unwind it here and we'll talk about a few things. I don't have a cordless mic like all the cool kids do, because I usually ended up having to do voiceovers. But this morning I was able to, plug in my mic, and hopefully I'm just going to do it this way. All right, so of course, if you've seen the series, you can go back and watch all of it. Now I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I did after putting the die cuts in. I went in with Sharpie and filled in the eucalyptus, and the dragonfly is a Sizzix die that came with a like an embossing folder. It was an embossing folder, and it made these impressions in the Dragonfly. And when I went to do my category inventory of what die cuts I had, I realized that the embossing folder wasn't with this die cut, and I found it in a different box, so I put them together, and anyway, so there you go. So we have a beautiful impressed Dragonfly. I used Tim Holtz crayons. Well, first I used Distress ink, and then I went back with Tim Holtz crayons and went over the Dragonfly, and then I took a gold or bronze Sharpie and just highlighted even more the veins and things in the Dragonfly. Okay, so as we went along now, I've got leaves that I hand cut because I can't find my die cut with the leaves, and I went back in with another Sharpie in a sort of like a greenish teal, and I just went in and put veins in all the leaves, as you can see here. And let's just try not to get caught up in the cord and all of that. Okay, so then here's the camera. All the die cuts, not all of them, I didn't do it on this one, but all the die cuts that I did do something to, I used a Sharpie in different colors around the perimeter. And this one I used a white gel pen around the camera, and another eucalyptus, and this time a purple Dragonfly, and this time I used silver for the highlights. You can see that. I thought that turned out really nice. There's my teacup with a broken teacup inside. Now this clock, I forgot that some of these dies are directional, and I put the paper on with the design because it's only one-sided. I put it on the die wrong, and when I went to glue it down, I was like, this clock is backwards. And I thought, you know, that really makes sense for me, because my poor dad tried to teach me how to read, you know, the time on a clock or a watch or whatever when I was in, I don't know, first, second grade, whenever you're supposed to learn that. And you know, I'm shaking my head. No, it took me so long. So it really figures, you know, this is sort of like a tapestry of my life from 1970 up until this year. All of these die cuts really symbolize that, and so I thought, I'm just going to put it on here. Yeah, it's backwards, but it's significant to me in my travels. Okay, so this is another piece of that dyed fabric, and this is where the two pieces are joined in there with just some let's see, I use glue, and I use fabric glue just to glue this on. And I don't know, I thought about sewing it on, and then I thought, no, I don't want to possibly tear the rest of the tapestry if I tried to sew it. So let's continue. Now this one is just a little piece of the Dragonflies, you know, some of the wings, which I do occasionally because, you know, you can just put it up in a border. I also did that for my cabinet that I decorated, and I used parts of the Dragonfly just to use up the paper. Here's a typewriter. That was real significant in my life because that and my English classes were really the only classes that I carried on through life. You know, I learned to type in high school, and that, you know, that's a skill that you know, I'm just really grateful for. Here's some more of those leaves. All right, and here now, let's see if I can start to bunch up. Okay, here we go. And then we have the Eiffel Tower because I've always wanted to go to France and Paris. And then this is a telephone that, you know, the rotary dial. My mom she was a covert picker. I guess she had stuff that I don't know where she found it. You know, we never really talked about it, but she had these old phones and she wired them into our house. And especially, like, I remember one of these in the basement, in the family room in the basement, and you know, those things were heavy duty. They were great for when you wanted to slam the phone down. And here's my other dragonfly, and this one has silver in the highlights, again with the distress crayon, and then more leaves. And then here's an old fan, and my grandfather had a fan like this. It wasn't you know, fancy, but it was like this. And then here's another eucalyptus, and that is my eras, which, you know, I showed at the beginning. My eras tapestry from 1970, which is when we moved into the first house that I have memories of, and till 2024, which this is significant for when I had my vendor stall last year. I brought in my mannequin, and so I had a die cut of a mannequin, so I put that into the tapestry. And as I was making this, I really wasn't thinking about, oh, this is, you know, this is my life, until things just sort of came about. Oh, you know, one more thing I want to talk about. So to finish this off, I was thinking of putting fabric all the way around the border, and then I decided I didn't want to lose any of the detail. So this is, and I'll have to put a picture up of the yarn because it's in the other room. This is a yarn type of oops, don't push that table, Kathy. This is a type of a yarn that I find at thrift stores, and you'll see the picture of it. And then this is cotton crochet thread, and I use a very large eyed needle, and I used my We Are Memory Keepers Crocodile, you know, the handheld, and I went through and punched holes through every, you know, every so often. I didn't really measure it, you know. I just whatever, and a couple of times I'd miss. It wouldn't, I don't know, it slips because it's heavy, and you know, my hand gets tired, but that was okay. I just kept going. If you can see it's just a blanket stitch, just to kind of pull it all together and make it a little bit more unique, I guess. And I did it in two sections. I did one section and then the other section, and then I joined both sections together because, you know, it was going to be difficult to do it all at once. So that, anyway, you can see. I don't know. I hope I'm getting this in the frame. But you know, just the details. You can still see the details of all of that. So this thing was. Well, you know, it's my first true mixed media, you know, that I used like just about everything and burnt my brain cells doing it. And here's the junk journal part because I don't have a place to display it and I want to keep it. And so here is my junk journal. So yeah, this is my Eras Tapestry by Casablanca Cargo, 1970 to 2024. And thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.